Introducing a mod that takes us to the next level, or rather it takes towers to the next level. Clicking this button here opens up Tower Ascension. Credits to Dark Terror for making this one. It's pretty simple. All you gotta do is reach the pot requirement for a specific tower, and then you're able to ascend it. And ascending basically gives extra stats along with more things that you'll see, well, if you stay around. So how I'm gonna do this is we're gonna play a tough chimps map. Dark Castle. Well, I don't know if you'd call it tough, but it's up there. And with the help of Tower Ascension, we're gonna see how far we can push it. Unfortunately, the first 50k pops is pretty far away. I think it'll take until, I don't know, round 50? No, definitely past round 50. I think you reach 50k pops on round 60 or something like that. So we're gonna have to work on the first 60 rounds of this challenge, basically vanilla. Not sure how I would want to use dart monkeys to get there. Probably crossbows and sharpshooters. They seem like the best one for this map. I'd say at least for the very, very early game, a triple shot is my best bet. Especially defending tough rounds like 15. And then we'll build a crossbow from there. I suppose we'll continue with the dart monkey theme, even for lead balloon. So I saved just enough money to perfectly afford a juggernaut for round 28 here. That's right. I feel like it only makes sense for a mod like this to focus on one tower at a time. Maybe two, if I'm feeling spicy. But probably not until after we get the ball rolling with the dart monkeys here. Sharpshooter can be afforded now. And now I think I just gotta really worry about round 40 defense, of which my juggernaut is too far back. Might just use a maelstrom for this to make it easy, I'm not sure. I got myself a discount village and two. That's right. 2 sharpshooters, also a glue gunner, and that seemed to pop it early enough. Not sure if I need to glue, but better safe than sorry, eh? Nothing to do in the mid-40s here, other than slowly watch our dart monkey pop count slowly get closer and closer to 50k, and it seems like I've been wrong. We're gonna hit 50k on round 51, not like 60, as I thought, which makes sense. Now that I remember how 2 million pops challenges work, you normally have to get a tower on round 52 to get the 2 million. There's like 42k extra. I did the math wrong. But either way, take a look at what happens now with Ascending. It's not just stat bonuses, it is double shots. You look closely. Well, yeah, you don't have to look closely to see it, but the Juggernaut's shooting 2 shots, the crossbow, but the sharpshooter's shooting 2 shots. I think every dart monkey gets 1 extra projectile to their attack, which means I think middle path probably isn't worth it. To maximize the power of all this, it's beneficial to go for 1 projectile things. Now we can take a look at the next Ascension, which is only at 62.5k pops, so it doesn't really scale that like high. It took us 50 rounds to get the first Ascension, but I think if dart monkeys continue getting the rest, then it'll take only 3 more rounds to get there. You know what's weird is that I was gonna do a camo pot on 59, only to realize that Ascending gives innate camo. That's pretty sick. I thought it was a bug or something, but no. Free camo, guys. I think at this point we ought to see just how far we can push it without buying more. Just letting the natural Ascension do its thing. Dies to this round, but let's see how close we are to the next Ascension. Oh, so close. Sorry, I'm dyslexic, we're over. We're over 62.5. So we can get the next buff, and I assume this gives a triple. Is that right? Yes, it is right. Triple Juggernaut plus the extra stat bonuses it gives wipes out the Ceramps compared to, well, at Ascension number 1. And you can also see here an insane attack speed bonus, so it sounds like the list of buffs that it gives is attack speed, an extra projectile, maybe more damage too. It's hard to see. We'll probably take a look at this dart monkey here to see the exact amount of, like, stat bonuses it's given. Don't forget more range, because there's no way this normally reaches that far. I still think the dart monkey does only 1 damage, so the damage isn't increased, but a lot of the other stats are, for sure. The next Ascension is at 78k. Again, mods are not meant to be balanced, but if this were to be a bit more balanced, I think the next pop goal should have been a little bit higher and harder to get. But now we're going to get Ascension 3 and a 4th. I repeat, a 4th dart. Yeah, I don't think we gotta buy any more at this point, it feels like. We'll just remove the trees so that the range actually matters for these guys. I don't think overflow pops count in ascending, as in, if I ascend this now, I'm gonna lose 30,000, so I gotta pretty much manually buy it. And to me, it feels like after 5 ascensions, I think the darts do more damage now. I'll test here. Yeah, it's like 15 per burst, so I think 3 damage per dart. I was definitely caught sleeping, and I overflowed by 400k for the next ascension. My bad. My bad, but now we got a nice gold border back here. I wonder if at some point, did we get a mid buff on any of these? I think so. These seem to be evaporating lead balloons, so now we don't have to get a mid either. Easy. Talk about non-linear growth here. I guess what we could do with all this money is we could probably just get a Dart Paragon, because I would assume it transfers into the Paragon as well. Next ascension, I guess at this point, overflowing pops doesn't really matter, because we make that back up in 5 seconds anyway. Now we've got a Navy Dark Blue banner, and we'll get that right in time for round 100. Take a look how quickly this falls. This one crossbow has done pretty much all the damage there. Again, don't go anywhere. There's probably hundreds more rounds where that came from. I feel like if I were to keep going here with just Dart Monkey, I don't know. I feel like I might be here till around 1,000. So maybe we'll check out some other towers to get pops on. At this point, what is there to say, really? Things got out of hand quickly. I mean, just look at that one bad. 200,000 damage per second, essentially. And this is on a tier 4. Here's what I'll do. Let's buy all the tier 5s needed, and I'll buy the Dart Paragon all the way on the very right side. This is to put it far back enough away that I can still see how other towers work when ascended, and then still not die, because I have this guy for backup. Again, this is assuming that the Paragon does inherit it. If it doesn't, then that's GG. We'll buy another ascended, waste 5 million pops, or overflow by 5 million pops in the process. It doesn't tell you what ascension you're at, but you can kind of make it up by the amount of projectiles each one is at, which I think looks like a burst of 12. Out of curiosity, we'll transform into a Plasma Monkey, and oh wait, it looks like it nerfs it. These plasmas are only shooting 1, and I'm pretty sure they're much reduced cost, so noted. Do not use abilities. So let's try it now. Degree 69, I did not do that on purpose, by the way. And we should see, oh my god, that's beautiful. Want to see it do it again? Holy moly. It almost looks like a Super Monkey Storm with the way it just wipes across the screen and deletes everything, you feel me? Except this time the Super Monkey Storm is pretty much infinite damage. Again. And again, I can look at this all day. Although that probably wouldn't make for the best video. Unless you wanted a 10-hour loop of this. This can't be fair. Also, in the meantime, let me get started on maybe ascending another tower. I'll get a tack shooter. It just sucks that it's just barely out of range of the village here. But I'll try slowly farming 50k with a tack sprayer. I don't want to overflow it. I just want to get the first ascension, so I'm just gonna throw some Jerry buffs on it to get there closer. Although, okay, at this rate, the damage might be too slow to ramp up. Anyway, one shot. The bad here. Oh, it does not. Lasts for a little bit longer, and it makes our board wipe a little bit longer and much leggier. In the end, we do it, though. Something we did not see in round 140 is the fact that, even indirectly, just one line of shots are needed. Oh, no. 2 shots are needed to basically wipe out the bad there. Was not shown, but there were several rounds there where, trust me, the balls, like, completely wiped out the BD with just 1 second's worth of them. I think if they spawn in the middle 2, they do. Outer 2, have a couple less. Like, watch here. 1 line to destroy the BFBs, and goodbye to that. Anyway, it took several painstaking rounds, but I think we're very close to 50k pops combined now. In fact, I think we're there, but what's weird is that if you open up the menu, we're actually only at 44. Add the math up on these, and we do have 50, though. So I'm not sure where we leaked extra pops, but I guess we have to wait one more round then. And I'll be very curious to see how quickly we can start ramping up to the point where tack shooters can damage stuff before it even touches the dart. That is the goal right now. So, Ascension number 1. What does that look like on attack shooter? How does it even work on attack shooter? Because adding +1 projectile is nowhere near as efficient as on dart. That's assuming it does add +1. I'm not sure if it does anything different. Are we able to tell that this attack shooter is shooting 17 attacks instead of 16? I don't know. I'll have to look into a replay for that. Okay, look at the blade shooter very carefully and count. By my count, it's actually shooting 10 projectiles instead of what I believe should be 6 or 8. Still nowhere near as double the amount, 1 to 2, but very good. I'll just get Taxa and F it to make things scale a wee bit faster, and of course some of them Jerry buffs, 3 of them here. And looks like we're about to hit Ascension number 2 here. Not if the Dart Monkey has anything to say about deleting ZMGs for us. But here, number 2, now, and once again, we'll use the Blade Shooter here for reference. It should be at 12 now. Yep, what I'm doing here is I'm print screening because it's hard to see for me to see in real time, then counting the number of projectiles, and it is 12. So if it's additive for every tack, then this is now at 36 instead of 32. Very nice. Checking the Maelstrom ability, I don't think it shoots any more projectiles. So just in case you're wondering. This time, it appears it only took us a couple rounds to get the next Ascension, and again, it's going to get faster and faster and faster by a non-linear amount. Make that 14. What's interesting is that I think by Ascension 4, the Dart Monkey already had innate camo, but that is not applied to the attack shooter. I wonder why. Maybe because it's a tower that mostly does not have, like, innate camo, so maybe we only get that till much later. That's one thing I've noticed so far. I'm not sure how this aura works for non-projectiles, like, say, Ring of Fire. It seems pretty bad, given that the damage is so much worse than even just a thing, tier 3. Let me buy an Inferno ring, and oh, this is nice, this is nice. I kind of expected this to be the case. But we do get 1 extra meteor too, which is big value, because this is a good ass damage shower. I'll move it far enough away, so that, I don't know, you can see maybe eventually infinite meteor balls spewing out. It's +2 per as well. Yeah, this is definitely the best tack with Ascended so far. And soon the map will be engulfed in flame. It still seems like they only have 1 pierce because they die the moment it hits a balloon. But I'm assuming ascending stuff will eventually keep on giving more pierce. So I shouldn't have to worry about that. I'll do Bond Crosspath so they do a bit more damage. Still no cam protection. I'm not gonna lie though, it feels like it might have been a mistake going for a global range shower, because there's no way to turn off this thing. If I get enough ascended on the tack shooter, it's just gonna be a leg fest, which at that point, I guess I'll call it. But we're not there yet, so let's keep it going. Yeah, attack zone looking pretty unimpressive overall. If I didn't tell you we ascended 5 times, you probably would not have even noticed by the amount of tacks it's like shooting out. Alright, we are now at Ascension 7 or 8. I'm telling you, it goes up fast. If not for the camos, I guess I'll just get a camo village for it. I will... Well, actually, doesn't the meteor already hit camo? Or did they nerf that at some point? I forget. But another one. Yeah, I guess I was out of the loop, but several updates ago, they did remove the ability to see camo. Much sad. I like that little quirk it had 1 upgrade of the entire tower was able to see camo. But I think we're very close at this point to not getting the Dart Monkey to shoot at all. I think it's just a matter of really slowing the balloons down. It's just DTs are so fast that the Inferno rank can hardly keep up with the speed of the DTs. So that's why maybe I should get a super glue, I'm thinking. Yeah, we got the money for that. Let's keep the screen clear of dart projectiles ideally now. Although I don't think this thing shoots fast enough to stop DTs, but maybe we can ascend the glue gunner too. This thing does do damage, albeit very slowly. Next ascension. I keep forgetting I have to buy camo on the glue for it to work on DTs, but it doesn't matter. The dart will still shoot anyway. They're too fast, even for none. non-ZMGs, I guess, because the range is... Yeah, this thing gets a lot of extra range just from ascending. Go figure. Still only 1 pierce in the meteor, it seems, eh? Okay, what if I buy primary training? Yep, that looks better. See how the meteors are going through the first ZMG now? Interesting, interesting. Let us ascend again then, and let's get an alt buff, because that gives bonus pierce, tier 4 as well. And if you thought I-Ring was already strong, well, take a look now. It's still not good enough, though, to beat like bats before they get to the Dart Monkey. Once we get that point, I think we'll call it. I think it should only take a few more ascensions if it's, Oh, no, yeah. That one popped really quickly, but I couldn't tell if that was because the Dart Monkey damaged it. But it appears we have officially conquered the map with meteors. We're able to ascend twice in a single round here. I would have loved if the panel was maybe off the side so I can still keep it open so you guys can see the progress. But at this point, I don't think Bloons are even gonna get underneath the panel with all of this damage. So mission success, I think. I think it took exactly the amount of ascensions that I believed it would have taken to make it so that the Dart Monkey no longer is shooting. At this point, let's just see how this fares against round 200. I moved it over. It does about only 100k DPS. Okay, that's not as much as I thought. I guess it's because this one's a fortified. But the Dart Monkey should clean up, right? Waiting. There we go. So we kind of just have to beg the question now. What other tower do you think would work well with, given the +1 projectile applies to every other tower ascension? Let me know, and maybe we can hit that up and maybe figure out a compromise for how OP ascended towers are. Because I'd be down to try out more of this in the future, maybe. That concludes our presentation. For a second, I thought that the game just froze, but no, it's just the glue gunner keeping DTs in place. Hey, on that note, maybe I can get this thing to 50,000 pops and ascend it just one time for the funnies. Sure, yep, there it is. 1 on the glue. Just for the memes, that's all. I'll leave you off with this beautiful visual. Otherwise, click on here if you would like to see more crazy shenanigans.